Hello and welcome back to composition tutorial number 2. Remember, this is a beginner's course. It is not for intermediate or advanced composers. This is just for beginner composers. Okay, let's review last week. We learned the C major scale and the C major chord. I'm going to play the C chord first. C, E, G. One octave below middle C. So we have C, E, and G. That's it. And we use the C major scale. We learned that as well. And basically we put together C chord with 4 notes. C, E, G, A. And during the week, you were supposed to come up with a melody using those notes in that chord. Okay? And if you haven't done so yet, don't worry, you'll get there. I also wanted to point something out that I forgot to mention last week. Composition is difficult, okay? So if you don't get it the first time, it's okay. We have to keep trying, okay? Sometimes new composers, young composers, try to fit a lot of notes into one space, where it's actually more important to use silence than it is to use melody, okay? If you really understand how to use rhythm and melody and how to use silence, that's going to be really, really helpful for you. There are so many different forms of music that you can teach. I think the easiest is binary, theme A, theme B, theme A. So lots of times I see composers like Brahms, Capriccio number 7 in D minor, Rachmaninoff Prelude in G minor, binary form, where the outer sections of the piece are very rhythmic and very percussive, and the middle of the piece is very lyrical. So that's a good way to write. That's a good way to write, is binary form and to have contrasting ideas. Today we're going to learn the F major chord and to use 2 more notes in the scale for your melody. And then next week we will learn the G chord, and we will learn the final note you can use in the melody. And then you'll have all 3 chords for C major and the full scale. And then after that, we'll start learning A minor. Okay, so the new chord we're learning today is F. You're going to put your pinky on C, below middle C, F, and A. So that's C, F, A. It's very easy. We had C, E, G last week, and we're just moving our thumb over to A and switching our middle finger with our pointer finger, and C stays on the bottom. Let me explain that again. Pinky on C, your pointer finger is already above F. It's already there. So you have to just push down. Do not push down E at the same time. Lift the middle finger. And the last key, you want to move over skip over 1 key over to A with the thumb, and there you have an F major triad. Remember we talked about triad last week? Triad means 3 notes at the same time. So the new notes we are going to add to today's melody or scale, we're going to add the letter F because of the F chord, and we're going to add the letter D because it also works with the F chord and it kind of works with the C chord too. So I'm going to improvise a melody now using the new chord and the new notes F and A with the previous chord, C major, and the previous notes C, E, G, A. So now we have C, D, E, F, G, A. We are missing B. We'll use it next week when we learn the G major chord. Anyway, here we go. Just made that up now. What you also want to try to do is you also want to have variation in rhythm. You don't want to keep the same rhythm the entire piece. It can become stale or tired. as you work through these tutorials, we will learn more about counterpoint, polyrhythms, polyharmonies, and how to really use counterpoint, which I was doing there a little bit. So thank you for joining today's lesson. I will see you next week for lesson 3, the G major chord, letter B, full scale of C major, and the 3 primary chords of C major at the same time to make your very own song. Bye bye.